Good morning, everybody, and I wanted to talk today about the autumn olive bush. I just seen a video from another YouTuber, Snacks and Plants, and it was actually got 1,300 views, and he only had 42 subscribers. So I figured I'd give myself a chance at some views, since I too have autumn olives. They're not as big as his, and they don't have as many berries, but I think his are a little bit older. But it gives me a good opportunity to talk about why I even planted this autumn olive and why it grows so well. So I'll turn the camera around, and that my backyard is a half acre, and it for the last 70 years has been farmland. Then it became an urban lot, and it's been mowed. And one of the reasons why this grows so well is because it's a nitrogen fixer. Much of our land is depleted in nitrogen. Here's a black walnut coming up in between, and here's one of the main stems of the autumn olive, and here's the other one. And it's because they actually pull nitrogen from the atmosphere is why they're used to restore soils, and that's why it's considered invasive. But it also does produce berries. We'll take a quick little swing around to see if there are any left. And they have their own vitamins and all sorts of different things. They're considered a healthy berry, but they're considered invasive because it will take over an area. However, as you see here, there's a tree growing right in the middle of it, so I don't know, I've never seen the examples of where it would take over an entire forest and stop trees from growing. However, I'm really glad that I planted this, because this will be a food source for me. I can chop this and drop this to feed to my soil, to help other plants like blueberries and cherry trees and things like that from growing. We can also use it because it grows so quick, we can use it just like I've used this other invasive, this honeysuckle. I didn't plant this, there's a couple on my property. As you can see, the berries are pretty similar. Not as tasty, maybe not so healthy. I don't plan on eating any of these, but perhaps one of the viewers will know better ways to use these berries. But this came up on its own, and we'll probably trim it to get it to bush out more. But the really cool thing about it is I can use it for the shade that it produces for my little pawpaw. So just to the left here is east, so the sun comes up. So pawpaw in its baby state can get as much sun as it wants early on, and then later in the evening it'll get a dappled shade created by this honeysuckle. And that's what we should be using these fast growing plants for. We should recognize that our soils are depleted in nitrogen, so to plant what the land needs, not necessarily what we would prefer. Because things like my Ukrainian almond needs nitrogen to grow and create new shoots and all sorts of things. So having that plant there, the roots themselves will bring in nitrogen. I can chop them, and there'll be nitrogen in the leaves that'll break down and feed everything else. So I think autumn olive and honeysuckle are actually pretty awesome, because that's one of the things, I guess one of the rules that I have for my food forest is I want to grow things that want to grow. So if it really wants to grow, I really want to plant it, and I really want to plant like 3 of them. So I've got things like elderberry and things like that really like to grow, and peach trees and pear trees, and they're supposed to be a food forest. It's supposed to be a synergistic type of additive plant ecosystem. So I even have things like 9-bark. 9-bark is really cool because it provides habitat, just like the 2 bushes that I mentioned before. It has a little native quality for native birds and wildlife. They change colors and all that stuff. So I have a few here. There's another couple back there as well. Before I get too long-winded, I wanted to make this an unedited video. So Snacks and Plants, if you want to check him out, I think he had like 43 subscribers. He seems like a pretty nice guy. And he must be doing all right if he's got autumn olives in his backyard. So thank you for watching. All right, bye-bye.